Hey there, you're watching the Jessa Channel on YouTube. I'm Jessa, and today I am here with more Acanthop Isle. We're going to be visiting the home of our newest resident, Percival DeRozan, and taking him over to the Commons, and I'll show you where that is. Percival lives on the mainland, which is over here. And he's going to take the train. Oh, speaking of, yay! Choo-choo train. Come on in here. There you go. I know, it's just like my own little model train set, except on a computer. Now, of course, this is the lumber train, and you have the little red car in the back, and I suppose that's what the Sims get on and ride. This is the N train. For those of you new to the channel, that means the nowhere train, because it goes and comes from nowhere. Not sure what I'm talking about? I'll show you. Scrolling out, this is the hood. In the large view, I have a camera hack, a camera mod by Gun Mod, which allows, by the way, let me say that a little bit slower. I have a camera mod from Gun Mod at Mod the Sims. And just search for camera hacks at Mod the Sims or camera mods. Anyway, you can see the train going off there. Over here on the right hand side, if you look at the track sticking out, you'll see over there the smoke, and there's the train. Unfortunately, my camera hack does not allow me to go any farther out, and I think if I did, I'd fall off the edge into the abyss. There's a sim nightmare for you. Anyway, over here, here's the train. And the tracks literally go off. They're very long. I don't know what Maxis designer came up with this. They're very long, and they literally go off into nowhere. Way out there. And then it falls off of the edge, I guess. That's something to ponder tonight when you're going to sleep. And the new train comes in. Here's another train coming in. And I suppose the reason why they made the tracks these long, now that I think about it, is so that it takes, you know, the train wouldn't just... It's a way to time the train. You know, so that a new train wouldn't just keep coming along the track every 2 seconds. So they made the track this long so that, you know, it takes this long for a train to come down all the way down the track and through your hood again. Cool. And you might be wondering what this globe object is. This is by Nimmy. Hi, Nimmy. And Nimmy is N as in Nancy, I, M as in Mary, I. Nimmy Twinkle Sims. Google that. She has these globes, these wonderful globes. And this is where I downloaded it from. And the reason why is because it allows, once I go inside the globe, for me to get some really nice hood pictures, because it looks as if there's a changing sky. These have recolors. I'll show you what I mean. But a nice picture like that, it's really good. And let me see if I can find these in the, remember where they are in the catalog. I have a lot of custom content for the neighborhood as well too. Some jazz going on in the background there. Here they are. So they're sky globes, and the original idea was designed by Chris997 at Mod the Sims, and it was revolutionary when it came out, and still is. And what you do is you just place the globe, and I won't do that now just because we are focused on something else, but here's another globe sticking in here, and I can place that. That's for if you have land that goes all the way to the edge. And there's the train coming through again. I've been using this one for so long that I'm going to keep it, even though I have so many other choices. Here's another globe, for example, that can make it look like your world is at sunset, which is nice. But I've looked through all of them, and this is the one I like the most. And one of the reasons why I like it so much is that it literally reflects in the water. So if you look in the water here, you can see the clouds as I'm scrolling around. The purple in the water represents, first of all, it shows me the edge of the world going down into the water, which I like. And it also, to me, in my mind, is like a reef like what plants and starfish and things like that growing underneath the ocean would look like along the edge of the land, and that's why I put it up there. But mostly I just like it because it looks cool. It's a little otherworldly. It just makes the ocean even more amazing. Anyway, what I was going to show you was that Percy is taking the train. I have a feeling that Percy does not like to be called Percy. That's how I see him as a sim. He's too dignified, too high quality of a pimp for Percy. You know, Percy the pimp. Doesn't sound right. But I'm his sim goddess and can call him whatever I please. I've been working on the commons here, playtesting it to make sure it works right. And so we're going to go in and see how it works. But this is the commons in Acanthop, and basically this is just the central park of Acanthop. It's right in the center of the hood, and it's where everybody gathers. It's where all of the most important buildings in town are, such as the church, the cemetery, and the council hall, as well as the school over here, and the teacher's house, which is behind it. So, so yeah, that's how I designed Acanthop, was with a park in the middle at all. You know, I've always wanted that. Over on the mainland, there's a slightly different idea going on for a central park area. Within the mainland, we have Foursquare. And for those of you who have been with the channel for a while and have seen this, I do apologize. I am giving this content out, showing you this, giving you this little mini tour to give you a concept as to where Percival lives, but also for the new subscribers to the channel. So anyway, Foursquare, this is the central area, and it's basically 4 tiny little buildings. One's the post office, another one will be a restaurant, the other 2 I don't know yet, something, a newspaper stand maybe. And it has this tree, 2 trees tied together, not tied. I didn't personally tie a tree together, I promise. Okay. These 2 trees here that in my mind represent the oldest trees on the mainland, and they weren't cut down when all the other building was done. So they're kind of commemorative, I guess. Let's put it that way. Anyway, as I was saying, I think I said this already in a previous episode, but if I didn't, the way to Percival's house from the train over here, there's a train stop right here with the diner and whatnot, and you just get off the train right here. Ah, yay! Speak of the train again. And you go over the bridge. And then you make a right. And a left. And then another right. And you're at Percival's house. Right there. Let's go in and see him. I like this song playing in the background. The music that I play for my Sims... I believe this music is from the country station. And here we are. I'm waiting for Percy to come back because there he is. Because the last time I played him, I took him out to a lot to test run a lot. Those of you guys who watched me decorate this house, I appreciate your viewership, and you gave me some wonderful suggestions, which I took to heart and put them into play in the lot here, so you can see that some changes have been made. There was some discussion about the sink. In the previous episode I had placed a sink. I'm just plopping one down to show you. But I'd placed a sink right here. And it was kind of sticking out, and I didn't like that design choice. And several people told me that I should rotate the room basically counterclockwise by 90 degrees. So basically take the, let me show you what I'm talking about. Take the sink, take all this area here and move it over to here. And then take this table and move it up here. And then take this couch and have it facing, you know, and put it here, for example. And that would open up the room more. And you're quite right. It would open up the room. And turning it 90 degrees, I remember that one of the people that mentioned that was, I want to say Charlotte. No. I apologize. I always do that. I always try to remember names right off the top of my head, and I always fail. Courtney. That's what I'm thinking of. Courtney ECR mentioned that. And hi, Courtney. And so, but the reason why I didn't do that, and the reason why I designed the room this way, is because as a Sims player, I want to be able to see all of everything from this direction of the house. I don't like having to be able to go fling over here like this, for example, to see the Sims when they're sitting on the couch. I don't like it when the Sims' backs are to me too often. There is one exception that I've made to that, and that's up here. When he's using the computer, his back's to me. But I can still kind of get a good look at him from the side here. Whereas from the couch, I really feel like I have to turn all the way around like this. And I like to avoid flinging my camera about as much as possible to get a look at the Sims. So I designed it with my ability to see in mind. And that's one of the things that happens when I download a house, that I often have to change it around. Like there'll be a big, I'll show you, this is a common thing that house builders do. And I'm sure I've done it when I first started house building, but they'll take a dresser, for example, and they'll just put it like here. Or like here. I can't see anything! So in order to see, I gotta go like this and around and scooch up and all of this crap. And I accidentally just bought you an ugly dresser there, Percy. And so I tend to play with it really open to this side, so that once I get my angle going, I don't really need to change. So that's why I did it this way. But a wonderful viewer, and I'm going to actually pause because I really want to thank this viewer by name. The viewer that mentioned this very smart idea is Amanda Fletcher. Hi, Amanda. And she mentioned that I should remove the sink and just stick a dishwasher right under here under the cooker, which was a big duh moment for me. So this is the new dishwasher. And I happen to find one in a nice purple. This dishwasher is by Tolly. I have my favorite creators, and if you watch enough of these episodes, you'll see me mentioning the same people over and over and over. Anyway, by Tolly at Simgadons. And so I put that in there and it works just fine. And it also works out well. My first thought was, well, even though this is a cooker, there's an animation that plays when the Sims get something out of the oven. And so it'll look like they're getting their food out of the dishwasher. And I realized that as soon as I thought that, I'm okay with that. That's fine. Because it's a small price to pay, blah, 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 for getting 3 rooms into a 4x4 space and everybody being comfortable and content. So that was one thing I got a wonderful tip on. The other thing I wanted to share with you is I got a tip on from Joe Smith. Hi, Joe. And she mentioned that I could download a mod from Lord Darcy, who does a lot of mods over at Mod the Sims. Utilitarian mods is what I would call them. And they're really good for, fixing little oopsies that Maxis disregarded. And he has a mod there which allows you to walk underneath modular stairs. Go check that out on Mod the Sims. And I put that in there, Joe, and it didn't work. And I think it's because of the way that this stairwell is hitting this landing here. But it doesn't, the Sim can still use nothing underneath the way here. So I think I'll try it under some stairs that don't have a stair landing there. I think I've shown you everything about the house. We're going to take a trip now with Percy to go out and meet some chicks. Let's just not put too fine a point on it. Let's just be frank, open, and honest, shall we? Let's sit down and talk about how we're going to get Percy laid. Yep. Percival is a lonely dude. Let's check out his wants. He has a want to ask a Sim on a date, to woohoo, to slow dance with a Sim, and to play a computer game. That used to be by a bar, but I think he went into the house and saw the size of it and went, well, I guess that's not happening. It'd be great if I could stick a bar right under these stairs. That would be absolutely perfect, but I don't think it's going to happen. I still don't have a radio or any way for him to listen to music in here, but that's actually something that can go under the stairs, and let's do that right now, because, well, we'll see if it works. Yep, this is the one I was thinking about. This wonderful, also by... I'm just going to stop saying Sim Gadons every 12 seconds because that's pretty much all of my stuff. I have a lot of stuff from different creators, but he's one of my favorites. Yay, look at that! And he even did something in the right color. I'm going to snap objects to grid off and kind of center this a little bit here. I'm hoping that he can use this because he doesn't actually have to come underneath it to turn it on. We'll see. I have a mod in that makes it so that they don't have to go over to the stereo to turn it on. Let's see. I think that worked. Look at this. It even has a animated music. And I'm going to turn off the music that I have playing in the background. Pause that for a minute and see if the Sims music is working in game. I have the music turned off unless I am going to be playing it at a party of some sort. Yep, that's music. Oh yeah, bop your head. Percy, you know what? I know you want to eat, but you're not going to eat because we have plans. So I'm going to turn your autonomy off, brother, because we have things to do. It's a Wednesday afternoon. We have women to pick up. Anyway, so that's great. Yay, we have found a solution for something that can work under the stairs and gives us tiny little bit of dancing room here. Yay! That makes me happy. I'm now a happy simmer. Well, pretty much I'm always a happy simmer. So let me turn this music back off and turn our background music on again. And there we go. And I think it's time to go to the park. What do you think, Percy? I want some eggs and bacon! Stop your whining. We're going to the park. There's pizza at the park. You'll love it. Trust me. Okay. But you better not be lying. I wouldn't lie to you. I'm your sim goddess. I wouldn't fib to you, pumpkin. Oh, look, by the way, one of my favorite Sims, Mike Midriffy Colston, who was made as a mistake, or, well, not a mistake, he was actually made as a placeholder, like, I had no intention of having him end up in the game. Hence his slightly odd look. And he's turned out to be a valuable member of the Acanthopian community. Great Sim. He actually now works at the orphanage and is so I don't see him out and about very much. Oot and a boot. A few other people I want to thank while this loading screen is going on. One is Blizzard. Hi, Blizzard. Blizzard mentioned that the walls, and he begins to make his own art. For example, Percival has a 7 art creativity. There's no room to put their stuff. I suppose I could sell some paintings, but I like the walls being bare and over time getting filled with photographs of important bought at the local art gallery or from other Sims, or has been created by the Sim themselves to bring the home alive with their own personal touch. So that's how I tend to do things. That's why the walls are bare. Also, Star Sapphire recommended that I move the tile when the sink was in its previous position. It was driving her crazy that I didn't have a tile underneath it. Had I noticed it, it would have driven me crazy too. But the solution has been taken care of, Star. But I appreciate your support and your absolute insistence that I get a tile under that sink now. That's it now, Jessa. I'm not playing. Good times. Okay. We are here at the park, and let me give you a little tour of it. Here's Percival arriving. And I have some golfing area in here. Beautiful fountain. We also have the human statue a little bench. In testing this, I learned something. I had benches, park benches, along the diagonal edges of this area here. And over here and over here and over here and over here. I had a park bench there. And I kept getting errors when the sim would go and try and sit down on it and eat. And I found out that Sims cannot eat in diagonal chairs or benches or couches. Who knew? Did you guys know that? Because I didn't know that. So through much, you know, the error logs I went through, and, you know, when an error comes up in the game, an error log is created. And I am learning slowly how to read those logs and kind of get an idea as to what the problem could be. And it turned out that it was the diagonal benches. So I took those out and put a table in here so that they can eat. There's a chess table over here and a mahjong table. When I was playtesting this lot, the unsavory charlatan from Voyage showed up. It was great. And sat down to play mahjong. Mahjong? Anyway, with some other Sims. I thought it was great. I didn't know the unsavory charlatan played mahjong. Over here we have the fire twirler gentleman, and he is taking a break. By day, he's a banker. By night, he twirls fire. Over here, there's a place for a campfire. Logs of burning, this is called. And we have the throwing station. But the most important part of any hood, any park, any sim lot, les toilettes. Am I right? Raise your hand, Simmers. Gotta have the toilet. Unless, of course, you like the Sims peeing on themselves, which, of course, offers its own unique amusement. And I love these porta potties because they have a window where you can spy on your Sim going to the bathroom. I've never done that myself. I swear I haven't. I would never do such a thing. That'd just be weird. Okay. I have a good time. I really do. Okay, so we have some Sims out here enjoying themselves, and we have traffic going by, which is neat. And we have some lag, which is always great fun. So let's scope out the scene here and see. What I'd like you to do is I'd like you to scope the room. Maybe I'll let you have a piece of pizza first, though. Let the man get a little something to eat. Gotta have a full tummy in order to pick up the chicks or the gentleman. I'm about to find out if there's anybody of either persuasion that he enjoys here. Okay, so here's a fun thing. No matter how attractive you make your Sim, the minute they put food in their mouth, yeah, look at that. I suppose nobody looks real. Okay. I suppose nobody looks really attractive when you're chewing, but they do make it look particularly silly. Oh, and we get right down to business. I want you to know that Percival has never, as far as I know, met Otto Galloway. I'm pretty sure he hasn't, because I haven't sent. Percival hasn't. Well, maybe he has. I don't know. The secret life of Sims. You never know what they're doing when you're not playing them. Anyway, and these two gentlemen take it down to what's real right away. What's that up there in the corner? What's that purple heart? Tell me down in the comments below. Yell it out loud. Say the word for me in the comments below. This is a mod I have by Spooky Muffin. Hello, Spooky Muffin, if you ever watch this video. Thank you for your mod. And it gives me a kind of a wonderful, well, actually it's not doing it now because I skipped past it. 6 o'clock. At 6 o'clock it gives you sunset for an hour from 6 to 7. And that's actually something that is available in the mod in the Maxis lighting files that Spooky Muffin worked on and intensified. Okay, so Otto told you what you need to do, so let's go do it. Let's see. We have a couple of choices here. Well, actually, let me let you do a scope the room first. Can you scope the room? Let's see. A sim, yep. A sim cannot scope the room until their gender preferences have been set. And I randomized his, as I do with all sims. And you can do that using Sim Blender. Honoria? Seriously, dude? Far be it from me to stand in the way of true love, even if it is with a reverend. Let's see how faithful Honoria is to her her deity. Bye. Let's appreciate her first. The naughtiest reverend you ever met. Let's see what kind of morals she has. Well, that's off to a good start. Good start. And let's have him charm her. And then let's have him ooh, I was hoping he could brag, but he can't. Tell her a joke. Well, things are going very well. Oh my. And you know, Honoria, I want to remind you, if I'm not mistaken, that you are still going, well, I don't know if you're going steady with, but you're seeing Little Willie. Although I can understand a woman wanting to make a break from that. She is such a cutie pie, I have to admit. Yay, they're getting along. Although that joke wasn't a big knee slapper. They kind of, if the sim tells a joke and the other sim just kind of goes, ha ha ha, then it wasn't very good. And he's, you know, he's checking out Ash Martin's wall. He's standing right in front of the Reverend. What a player. Okay. What did he just ask her to do? Oh, playing basketball, baseball. That's cute. Okay. Good, clean fun. Oh, did you just see that? Oh, that was awesome. Honoria just hit him in the face. Look at his face. Oh, look at that face. Okay, we have to get a picture of this. I have got to get a picture of this. Okay, I think that is about right. About like that, yeah. So the way I take pictures is with the Gadwin print screen. I press F5 to take us out of, to make the cue disappear, basically this up here in the left-hand corner right up here. To make that disappear, I press F5. Then I press F10 to get rid of the UI, the user interface, like so. And then I press F9, which is the key I have put on my print screen to give me an ability to select. And you may not be able to see what I'm doing. Maybe you can, I don't know if it's going to show up on the recording. But I am selecting the area that I want to be in the picture. And then I press enter. And then I go back to the game. Press F10 to bring it back, F1 to take us back into play. This is entitled, What to Do When Trying to Romance a Reverend. That's awesome. Okay. Go ahead, lay him with one. He loves it. He loves getting hit in the face with a baseball. Come on, Percy. Oh, that's just too good. Okay, yeah. So I'm gonna get, and I love what the Sims in the background are talking about. Our two local sheriffs are talking about their wild safari days. I'm not sure. One of the things that I do, by the way, I'm going to do a little side note here. One of the things that I like to do as a Sims storyteller is to expand upon the limited conversation icons that we get in the game. There are only so many that are available. And if you've been playing this game as long as I have, and I've been playing for 9 years now, since release day of The Sims 2, you'll get, you can make this very literal, and you can say, he's talking about an elephant. Or you can kind of use your imagination, and I like to use this as an imagination exercise, to think of the different things in which an elephant could be located or could be referenced as to what they could be talking about. They could be talking about a trip, how they'd like to have a zoo in town. They could be talking about how they went to the circus. They could be talking about a woman who had a very, very big backside that they used to date. They could be telling a very raunchy joke. I don't know, but there's a lot of different interpretations to that one image that you can get that can really increase your storytelling abilities. Let me know if you do the same thing when you play in the comments below. Anyway, I'm going to get one more picture of this, and then we're going to end this episode here, and in the next episode we're going to see if we can't get Percy and the Reverend to do the ungodly. Yes, I said it. I am but his sim goddess. I am here to fulfill his desires, and his desires is to get busy with someone. And I am here to please, so to speak. Trying to keep this a relatively PG-13 show. Very hard to do with my naughty Sims. Look at him. He's like, okay, this woman might be a bit much for me. We'll leave it right here and see if perhaps he might have a go with Ash and see, or maybe he might like to date Giles. Giles Markarth, by the way, is one of my very distinguished elders. I like playing elders. They do fulfill a number of great roles in Acanthop. And Giles has got a lot of style for an elder. He's a cool dude. Anyway, that is it. A day at the Commons. I want to thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed what you saw, please hit the thumbs up button below and encourage me. And if you loved what you saw, join the party, the ever-growing party, and subscribe. I'll see you back here in Acanthop at the Commons as we continue our quest to bed Percival DeRozan as soon as possible in the next episode. Thanks as always for watching. Get every new Jessa Channel video right in your email inbox. Subscribe, then from your YouTube homepage, click Manage Subscriptions, then check Email with new uploads. And thanks for watching.